that young man over there?
Tony Curtis charms the ladies to death in Arrivederci, Baby.
Super morning, what?
My Alfa Romeo. It's parked outside. It's cold. Wait for me.
What are you doing, Nikki?
And if you don't do something about it, Nikki, I'm going to the police.
Tony Curtis, Zsa Zsa Gabor, and Nancy Kwan star in Arrivederci, Baby. Tonight's movie at 8 on Channel 48.
There's always a way.
There's always a way to help through United Way agencies. There's even a way you can designate part or all of your gift to the health or social service agency of your choice. When you write a check or make a pledge, you help find a way. The United Way.
United we stand, the United Way.
Tonight, Fred invites B.B. King to dinner and gives the man another reason to sing the blues on Sanford and Son tonight at 7.
Gavin, please don't do this.
I'm going straight to Jody's place. We're going to call the cops in there, and I promise not to get you involved, Bobby. I'll tell them that I forced you to do what you did. I'll make some kind of deal. Don't worry.
I'm not worried about myself.
I'm worried about you, Bobby. Goodbye, Bobby. Thanks for everything.
No, wait. Look, Gavin, I'm not letting you go there by yourself. What the hell? Maybe we'll get fingerprinted together.
This guy, Bobby. Shut up! What the hell are you doing here, Bobby?
I can't believe this. They can't have let you out of jail, not so soon.
And they usually give you soup before you leave, don't they? They don't like you wearing their clothes.
Yeah, well, I left in such a hurry, I didn't have time to change.
You were in jail.
Yeah, what the hell do you think I was, baby? I was in jail, but that's one place I'm not going back to. The food stinks. The whole place stinks. They push you around, they lock you up, they tell you what to do, what not to do every damn minute.
Gee, that sounds just like what you did to that woman in that hospital. What comes around goes around, huh, Shark?
No, I don't take any more of it! They've seen the last of me.
I assume you busted out.
They was, transferring me. Me and 6 other guys, they, put us in an old beat-up bus. Smart, huh? Well, we were driving across country, right? Well, bus blows a tire, we go into a ditch, the thing overturns, and things get pretty wild. Now, I don't know how many other guys got away, but yours truly got away, and that's where he's staying, away. I gotta thank you, Bobby. I remember when you let me use this place to stash some heat for Joey Chadwick. You remember Joey? Well, I figured this was a good place to stash myself for a while.
Okay, use the place as long as you want. We're splitting.
You see you later.
No. I'm really glad you got a new boyfriend, Bobby. But, why don't you stick around? We can get sociable.
Oh, I'm sorry, but we got other plans.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, Sonny. I'm making a plan to I am. And no one is going anywhere.
Edge of Night is brought to you by Bold 3, detergent plus full-strength fabric softener. And by Spick and Span. Spick and Span, it helps your floor show its true colors.
Howdy! Another new floor?
Hi, Minnie. No, this tile's the color my floor is supposed to be.
Well, looks like dirt's got all scuffed in.
And dulled its true colors.
To show your floor's true colors, clean it with Spick and Span.
Spick and Span on my no-wax floor?
Works great. Ground-in dirt can dull your floor, hide its true colors. But nothing cleans better than Spick and Span. It cleans deep into crevices and lifts out scuffed-in dirt.
But is it safe for my floor?
Why, sure. No liquid cleaner's safer.
Great. Spick and Span will make my floor look new again.
Nothing can do that. But it will get it the truest color it can be.
That's a floor I fell in love with.
Told you. Spick and Span helps your floor show its true colors.
You did it. Just takes know-how, Mom. Well, I hope you know how to get a good old-fashioned clean. That velour top is dirty.
No problem.
You can get that clean.
Old-fashioned clean with Bold 3 detergent plus fabric softener.
Come on. An old-fashioned clean from a detergent with a newfangled fabric softener?
Absolutely. Plus, you'll love the softness from Bold 3's newfangled fabric softener.
I'll have to see it and feel it.
You will.
No more tire treads. That's an old-fashioned clean.
And?
Feels downright snuggly.
Mm-hmm. And no static cling here.
I see it and I feel it. That's
know-how, Mom.
Bold 3 for an old-fashioned clean plus a newfangled fabric softener.
If only he hadn't shown up just then. Just 5 minutes before Gavin phoned.
Jody, why did he show up? What did Detective Tyler want?
Did he just come to ask you more questions?
He wanted to know Gavin's relationship with Bobby Gerard. It seems they've run off somewhere together.
Oh, wait a minute. You're not talking about an elopement. She's just helping. I know something about it. The police say they found evidence that Gavin was in Bobby's apartment right across the street from Sid's Tavern.
And I'm not afraid that there's any kind of romance going on. I'm sure that it is just some kind act of friendship.
And foolishness. I'm sorry, Jody, but that's the truth.
Tell us what happened. What did Gavin say on the phone exactly?
Oh, very little. Just that he was staying at Bobby's mother's house, wherever that is.
Mother's house? You see, that may be helpful. That may be all the information we need to find him.
Wait a minute. I think I remember Sid saying that Bobby was an orphan, that she had no parents.
Well, she may not have meant that literally. The point is, at least we have something to go on.
But not to the police. Miles, that's something you can't do. You can't tell them what I just told you. It wouldn't be right.
Jody, Gavin is just making this thing worse for himself by running. Now, you believe that as much as we do.
That doesn't mean I can disobey his wishes. Look, if he wanted the police to know where he was, he would have phoned them, not me. That is exactly the reason I hung up the phone when Damien Tyler guessed it was him on the other end.
Jody, that's such a mistake. Don't you understand? You could have done Gavin a lot more good if you just... All right, never mind. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm sure you did what you thought was right. But now that you've had a little bit of time to think it over, can't you see the benefits of telling the police the truth?
No. No, I'm not going to the police. I know it would be better for Gavin if he just gave himself up. But I can't make that decision for him. And besides, if I did, he'd never forgive me. And if anything happened to him, if he got put in jail because of what I said, I'd never forgive myself.
Okay, if that's how you feel.
It's how I feel, and it's what I want. And you and Miles must swear that you won't go to the police either. Okay, look, Sharky, we're not going to tell anyone we saw you. Believe me, we got enough problems.
Yeah, like what? Like the police are after my body like they're after your body. Maybe even more so.
Hey, wait a second. You're looking at public enemy #1. Now, you may be public enemy #2, but I'm public enemy #1. I'm #1 in everything I do. Ask Bobby.
Sharky, he's telling the truth. Look, maybe you didn't hear about this where you were, but... Well, some guy was shot and killed in a dance studio.
No, go ahead and tell him, Bobby. I shot and killed a man.
What do you want me to do? Shiver?
The police are looking for Gavin. They shot him in the leg when he was trying to escape. Don't you see? He's wanted for murder.
Oh, ain't that something else? Hey, we're just a couple of guys on the lam ending up in the same old dump. Hey, move over a second. Come on, shove over. Hey, you know, I'm not... Ooh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not a bit surprised, though. You know, because the way I hear tell, Bobby's old lady used to have a whole house full of guys like us.
Oh, yeah? Well, tell you what. You can have this house all by yourself.
No. I like company. And we got a lot in common, right? I'm like Bobby herself. And Bobby will take care of us, won't you, Bobby? I mean, you like to take care of bad boys like me and, what's his face?
Don't flatter yourself, honey. Gavin's nothing like you. For one thing, he doesn't want to run anymore. He's turning himself in.
Oh. I see you're going straight to the cops, and you expect me to just let you go. You must think I'm real stupid, Bobby.
No, you're not stupid. That's why you're serving 5 to 10. That's why you got mixed up with that nutty plastic surgeon.
Oh. I thought I recognized your name. You're the guy that kept Nancy Carr in that place. No, wait a second. It wasn't my idea. It was old Doc Bryce, and I just happened to be working for the guy
You
at the
still
time.
singing that same old song? He was involved with the whole thing. He kept that poor woman locked up there for weeks.
Oh, yeah, well, if you think you're going to do the same with us, forget it, buddy. You just...
Shut up!
One second, you... All right. We're just gonna let things cool down for a few days. Week tops. You can do anything you want.
I can't stay here that long.
Who said you had a choice?
Gavin. Gavin.
Wake up, Bobby. Breakfast time.
Scarecrow.
With Quaker Corn Bran.
I must be dreaming.
No, Quaker Corn Bran's for real.
Bran, Billy.
But Corn Bran's the first cereal made with a bran of corn.
So
it tastes great.
no kidding.
Would I kid a kid? You'll love it. Take it from me.
Okay.
You'll be my boss.
Quaker Corn Bran, the benefit of bran.
The great taste of corn.
I'll let them stay. They're really having fun.
Who says car problems can't be fun? Here's Mattel's portable Hot Wheels service center for your children.
Looks like he needs a new set of tires. A new set of tires?
The more problems they find, the more fun they'll have.
And while you're here, better check the transmission.
And when they're all through playing, it folds right up to carry away. Mattel's Hot Wheels service center. Who says car problems can't be fun?
I don't know, maybe I was expecting too much, or maybe I just didn't write a very effective article on Valerie and her mysterious friend in Lucerne.
Nothing wrong with the story I read, Nancy.
But, honey, it didn't produce any results. I mean, the whole idea was to get this Jim Diedrichson to come forward and say hello, but nothing like that happened at all.
But there was plenty of response, Nancy. I got 100 letters from people, including 5 marriage proposals.
5? Oh, gee, any of them worthwhile?
I'm considering 1 or 2. But really, Nancy, it was incredible. Your story intrigued the whole city of Monticello.
And it was picked up by a couple of news services, too. Now, I thought that might produce results in case Diedrichson was out of the area, but apparently it didn't.
I hope what I'm about to say isn't misunderstood, but I think that would have been just as well. Val, I think you would have been very disappointed if your faceless soldier had shown up.
I know you do, Kelly, but I would
Come on now, reunions aren't always what they're cracked up to be.
You're right, Kelly. I remember one I went back to a few years ago, and there was a beautiful girl in my class called Linda, who everybody thought was going to be a future Miss Capital City or whatever.
Well, this is the first time I've ever heard of Linda.
Well, I never dated her, Nancy. I don't think anyone else did either. They always assumed she would turn them down.
Poor girl. She probably sat alone by the telephone every night, wondering why nobody ever called her.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't pay to be too beautiful, does it? I guess you must have had that same problem yourself, huh?
Well, I guess you can guess the end of this story. Linda turned out to be a missus, of course, with 4 kids and 40 pounds heavier in all the wrong places.
Well, at least we know somebody finally called her.
All right. You all might be satisfied with what has or hasn't happened with Jim Diedrichson, but I am a reporter, and I like to know how a story ends, and this one simply doesn't have one.
There's an ending to every story, Nancy. This one just hasn't happened yet.
As far as I'm concerned, the story has ended. Nancy, I'm really ready to just forget the whole thing. Really, I don't care if I never see my name in the newspaper again.
Well, I'm afraid you're not going to get your wish yet, Valerie.
What do you mean, Mike?
In this evening's edition of the Monticello Star, there's your name and your picture, and I don't think you're going to particularly like the story.
I hope it's not something else about my father.
Indirectly, it is.
Bryce and daughter may inherit millions from Dad's illicit operations.
Illicit operations? That's what I call a loaded headline.
I would like to know how they found out about the money.
Well, I have no idea, Nancy. Obviously, there was a leak somewhere. But, of course, it wasn't a closely guarded secret either.
You know, there's a byline here. I know a Monticello Star staff reporter that needs a fresh punch in the nose.
Now, come on, Kelly. What else can we expect? It's what sells newspapers. Isn't that what they always say?
They also reviewed the Dietrichson story without any credit to the Monticello News, naturally.
Would you also please check the item on the bottom of that page?
Oh, Kelly, let me see. Oh, good Lord. Matt Sharkey?
Matt Sharkey? What about him?
3 convicts escape in prison bus accidents. And apparently, Matt Sharkey is one of them.
Susan Lane and her daughter Carrie often fool people.
Mom looks so young, people think we're sisters. Even her hands look young, similar to mine. Showing fabrics as I do, I want my hands to look good. So I take care of them. And I use a mild dishwashing liquid, too. She uses Ivory Liquid, and so do I. Because you're never too young to take care of your hands.
It's never too soon for Ivory Liquid. Feel the softness of Ivory Liquid. It's mild, helps care for hands. It helps hands stay young-looking.
Even the suds feel soft.
Yet nothing gets dishes cleaner than Ivory Liquid.
It cleans really well. But mainly I love the mildness. And I want to keep my hands looking young, like Mom's. I think I've got a real good start with Ivory Liquid.
Get mild Ivory Liquid because young-looking hands are worth holding on to.
Watch me really tickle their noses.
Tickle their noses with blueberries.
Duncan Hines blueberry muffins are filled with their sweetest, tastiest blueberries. Duncan Hines blueberry muffins.
They taste just as great as they smell.
Great taste.
First, Pampers invented quilting to help keep babies dry. Now Pampers invents new cushion quilting. It keeps a little baby a lot drier than any Pampers ever did. New cushion quilting. It makes the lining fluffy. Helps keep your baby away from wetness even when he presses down. It's the driest Pampers ever. Introducing new cushion quilted Pampers. Keeps a little baby a lot drier and a lot happier.
Should I go up and talk to her?
She says she wants to be alone.
I know what she wants. She wants to be with Gavin.
She has handed us quite a little moral dilemma, hasn't she? I don't want to withhold this information from the police. On the other hand, I don't want to betray Jody's trust.
Well, it is a trust. She didn't have to tell us what happened on the phone with Gavin.
There's another factor here. You know, I happen to work with the police department.
Well, you're still carrying a stethoscope and not a badge, so I don't think that should be your problem. I've got another dilemma. I'm supposed to be down at WMON right now, and I don't want to go because of Jody.
I thought you weren't doing the newscast tonight.
I'm not, but I promised Geraldine that I'd help her interview a couple of the people that she's hiring for the news department.
Do you know, ever since April went to Europe and ever since Geraldine got her head injury, it seems to me they've given you the whole job of running that station.
That is not true. I'm just helping out now while I can in the news department. Now, that's my special area, isn't
You're
it?
supposed to be a broadcaster, not an executive, aren't you?
I'm just doing what I can until Geraldine gets back or until they hire somebody to do what has to be done. Oh, honey, you know how important the news department is to a local station. Practically all of our original programming comes out of there.
I'm not debating that. Just that I happen to notice when you're working too hard, you do the same thing with me, remember?
You're right. It hasn't escaped my attention either. What I'm really afraid of is that it may become a permanent situation.
Doesn't have to if you don't let it.
That's the real problem. I'm enjoying myself. Is that an awful confession?
No, not really.
I talked to Geraldine about it, and she had a suggestion.
What was that?
That I hire an assistant. A sort of executive secretary. And then I'll be able to do my news broadcasts, at least some of them, and then I can sort of take over the whole news program.
I think that's a superior idea. Why don't you do it?
Because we're having such a hard time finding a nursemaid for Adam, the idea of looking for another secretary.
That reminds me, guess who visited me in my office today, presumably to get some free advice about her aches and pains?
Who?
Mrs. Goodman. And you know what I think? I think she's sorry she turned us down. All that talk about fear of heights and all that. I think she was afraid we were changing social class on her. I convinced her that we were the same ordinary, simple, sweet, loving people that we all, even though we lived in a penthouse now.
What else do you think she'll really take it back?
Yes, I'm sure of it. So all you have to worry about is hiring a secretary. Hey, Jody, where are you going?
Out for a little while. Don't wait dinner for me, okay?
Hello. Yes, Derek.
Miles, is that the police?
Yeah. Yes, I understand. No, I don't mind. No, as a matter of fact, I'd rather get to it right now. I have time. All right. I'll see you down there in about an hour. They want me to perform the autopsy on Gunther.
To use your studio this way, but the other studio has been closed down, unfortunately.
My love, you practice here as much as you need. We must both be prepared for the opening.
You intend to open the Whitney House, don't you? Not the Whitney Dance Company.
Well put, Martine.
Oh, God, what can I say to make you change your mind, please? Did you forget what happened to the last person who tried to rob the Whitney House? Do you want to get killed?
That man was a rank amateur, my love. A professional will not fail.
But you are out of practice. Don't you realize that? Poor is me, you know.
My love, that is the best reason to undertake this whole enterprise, knowing that you care about me.
Frankly, it might be much better for me if you were caught. Then I could stop living that life of lies you forced upon me. I could tell everyone the truth and start all over again.
All over and all alone? Martine, the biggest lie you keep telling yourself is that you don't care about me. So why don't you admit it? You don't want that divorce. If you'd really wanted that divorce, you would have gotten it a long time ago.
No. I just didn't want to go to 6 weeks in another state. That's what I did, what you ask. That's why I'm returning to the Whitney Dance Company, because I want to get that divorce on my own terms. So please, goodbye, I have to go.
Forgetting something?
What? Give me that.
Not out of practice at all.
No.
Hi, honey. It's good to see you. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Have you heard anything? Please tell me some good news for a change.
Sid, I have to talk to you privately. It's very important.
Sure. Come on in here.
The world's largest beauty company is coming to get you.
And I'm gonna make you feel beautiful.
We're gonna make you feel beautiful. Put a smile on your face.
Watch out, world. You're going to be beautiful.
Make you feel like a star.
This color in your new sweater, beautiful.
We're gonna make you feel beautiful.
With Avon, we're gonna make you feel beautiful. Yes, we are.
Jenny's hair is such a lovely color. She gets it from you.
Of course. Actually, I get mine from Miss Clairol. I get the soft, lovely color and touch I had when I was younger. Very much like Jenny's, with no trace of gray. And only Miss Clairol has color hold conditioner.
You know, younger-looking hair makes quite a difference.
And how I look and feel about myself.
Miss Clairol, because it's nice to look younger than you are.
Tonight, B.B. King comes to dinner at the Sanford home and gets another reason to sing the blues on Sanford and Son at 7. And at 7:30, Archie's singing the blues because he thinks he's about to ascend to the big loading dock in the sky, and all of the family all here on Channel 48.
Okay, now look, don't get the wrong idea. I don't think that Gavin ever looked at Bobby more than twice, unless you got his order wrong. As for Bobby, well, let's not kid ourselves. She had a great big crush on your boyfriend, okay?
Well, I'm not surprised about that, and I'm certainly not upset. I just never figured something like this would happen.
Look, Jody, I don't think Bobby was trying to put anything over on you. She didn't even realize you were Gavin's girl. I mean, she thought that you and Kelly McGrath were the big item. Well, she used to see you come in here with them all the time.
Oh, things have changed since then. Anyway, the point is now that Gavin and Bobby have run away together and we don't know where they are. Or at least the police don't.
Does that mean that you do?
Sid, please don't tell anybody this. But I heard from Gavin. I know where he is, or at least I know something.
Well, tell me about it. I promise I won't blow the horn on you.
No, I know you won't. I know I can trust you, and that's why I'm here. He's at Bobby's mother's house.
Her mother's? Jody, Bobby's mother's been dead for 5 years, maybe even more. There is no such place.
But that's what Gavin said. He said he didn't know where it was because there wasn't a street sign, but that he was definitely at Bobby's mother's place.
Well, maybe the house is still there. That's the only thing I can figure out. But where it is, honey, I haven't got the faintest idea. There's a picture of Bobby's mother, but...
A picture?
Yeah, she had it in her locker. She showed it to me once. It's just a picture of a lady standing in front of a house. You wait here, I'll go see if it's still there.
We gotta get out of this place, Bobby. That bozo will keep us prisoner for days. He's good at keeping prisoners.
I'll think of something, Gavin, I swear.
What's going on in here?
Look, Sharky, you can't keep us here forever. I mean, sooner or later, you can't stop us.
I never thought of that.
Listen, if you let us go now, I swear we won't say anything to the cops. If you make us wait, I'm not making any promises.
Hey, remember that I told you about that stuff that I stashed from my old buddy? Well, guess what? He left a little something behind. Wham! Rifleman. Now, me and my friend here say that you and your friend there does whatever Sharky says.
I may not seem special to you, but in this house I am. When my daughter went back to work, I offered to help with the twins. So when I get a cold, I want to relieve all my cold symptoms. I take a complete cold medicine, Cotylenol.
Cotylenol is a complete cold medicine because it relieves congestion, cough, runny nose, aches, pains, fever, everything. Cotylenol is so complete.
Nobody knows I have a cold.
Cotylenol, complete cold medicine. No cold product relieves more cold symptoms.
Fresh perked ground roast coffee. There's nothing like it. Or is there? Is there another way to get that ground roast look? That wonderful aroma? That delicious fresh perked taste? Ah, Taster's Choice. Freeze-dried as soon as it's perked to capture real ground roast flavor. Taster's Choice regular and green label decaffeinated. Looks, smells, and tastes like ground roast coffee. Ah.